Hello class, and welcome to week 9. This week we're talking about self-reliance. It's a fantastic lesson that will, I think it's a very practical lesson that will help us become more self-sufficient. So let's go over the announcements together. Okay, I'm going to start you off with this picture. Sometimes with self-reliance we don't look at it as service, but essentially that's what we're doing. We're serving or being served, and teaching others how to serve, or teaching ourselves how we can better serve one another. So let's think about that as we go through. A couple things. Here's a skill that I'd encourage you to remember. If you ever are struggling in your classes, either this class or future class, please remember to communicate with your instructor. As you do, and keep that communication strong, I'm confident that you're going to have success. You might not get a perfect grade, but that's so important. And if I could give you any advice as you go through your classes, remember that. Your instructors, we want to help you. Don't break that chain of communication. Keep that open, and we're here to help you. So that's my advice for you for this week. And I think that ties into the lesson too. English tip. We have words that sometimes are not what we think they are. For example, this monster sale doesn't mean a sale of monsters. It means a giant sale, a big sale. Also in English and in your first language, we have words which are called false cognates. They look like they're the same word in your native language, but they're really not. Here's some examples. Commitment, it's not compromise, and you can see the definition here. Only does not mean unique, always. Good evening is a little different than good night. Good evening is more hello, how are you? It could mean goodbye. Good night is more definitive, or in terms of ending a conversation. Good night kind of is along the lines of goodbye in the evening. Okay, so in other words, you would never say good night to say hello to someone, whereas you could use good evening to say hello, or good evening to say goodbye. So there's some subtle differences. Here's another one. Make a decision. That's grammatically correct, not take the decision. So think about your first language and how you express things, and it's not always exactly the same in English. Your writing tip, we've talked a little about this. Please read this about the comma splice. Some of you have received feedback on your vocabulary sentences with this specifically, and a link to show solutions. Basically, you can't just link a bunch of sentences together with a comma. You have to follow a set of rules. Last, and to conclude, we've got a quote by Mark E. Peterson. I'm going to read it to you. Inasmuch as God has given us our free agency to do as we please, He expects us to use our intelligence and ingenuity to improve our circumstances, both spiritually and temporally. He wants us to be successful in life and desires to help us. Man really is that he might have joy. And I have a testimony that as we become more self-sufficient, as we work hard to follow the commandments, and also to better our situation and the situations of those around us, I know that the Lord is pleased with that, and that brings joy. And so I wish you luck this week. I hope that you will reach out to me if you have any questions, but enjoy the week. Thank you.